Something massive is brewing in Toronto as the Leafs put the stranglehold on the Senators, going up 3 games in the first round of the playoffs. And there is one reason why the Toronto Maple Leafs have been so successful in this playoffs. We're going to talk about everything around the Leafs and why they've been so successful in this playoffs coming up on this episode of Hat-Trick HQ. But before we get into the video, we got to say we're on the road for 14,000 subscribers here before the end of the first round. So if you guys want to stay up to date on the latest stuff surrounding the NHL playoffs, make sure to go down below and hit that subscribe button. But Darius, we got a lot to talk about today because the Leafs might be the hottest team in hockey right now after winning in overtime last night with a Simone Benoit classic overtime winning goal, and you could just see the emotion on this team last night, how excited they were to be going up 3-0 in the series against the Senators, something a lot of people wouldn't have predicted going into this series. It's been great to see the Leafs kind of, shake off the ghosts of the past and actually show that they're playing hockey, because a big a question mark around this team going into the playoffs was, can the core four perform? Are we going to see another year where we're complaining about Matthews, we're complaining about Marner? That has not been the case in this playoffs. As we see from Nick Barden on Twitter, he says, last year in 7 games against Boston, the core four had 12 points, and in just 3 games against the Senators team, yes, you're seeing that right, 3 games, the core four has 19 points. It's just showing how big of an improvement that this group has had over the year, and I think this is the strongest Leafs team maybe we've seen in the last, decade or more. I think this team looks very dominant right now, and let me just take a look at who's leading the team right now. Obviously, it's Mitch Marner. The big contract question is around him, but it's seeming like, Darius, this core four is finally delivering, and it's great to see.
It's not just about point production to me. It's about the way that they play, and I'll get to that in a second. Last year, if you look at what happened, the biggest storyline with the series, we know that Nylander missed time. We know that Matthews missed time and all of that. There were some injuries, all of that going on for sure. The biggest story to me last season against the Boston Bruins was the special teams, right? And the goaltending. Your goaltending was horrible. Your penalty kill was horrible. And your power play was borderline like the worst I've ever seen, right? It was absolutely horrifying. This year, power play is operating at over 50%. Is that sustainable? I don't know, but it's been continuing through the games, all 3 games so far. When you look at Mitch Marner, he normally leads the team in points in the playoffs, but what happens after game 3 in every series, he kind of goes away. So I'm looking now, this is where he needs to step up big, him specifically, and not just him, the entire core four. They've been great to this point. They have to continue to be great. And yes, they have the stranglehold on the series. They have to end the series. This has to be a sweep to really send a statement to the rest of the league and your potential opponent, either Tampa Bay or Florida. Right now, it's looking like the Florida Panthers, but to really send a statement to say, we are different. And that's kind of what I wanted to dive into now. The point production's great, all that stuff. We know that they can score. It hasn't been great in the last couple of years, but we know that they can, even in the playoffs. But it's the way that they're playing, the new structure that Craig Berube has brought in, obviously Mark Savard as well. They had Mike Van Ryn as a defensive coach last year too. But everything they're doing, the Sens don't have any high danger scoring chances, or very little in this entire series, and their most came in game 2. They're keeping everything to the perimeter. They're very comfortable doing that. Brady Tkachuk scored a big goal last night. It was a fluky goal. It is what it is, right? Credit to him for coming into the zone, taking the shot, but it's not a goal that the Leafs are going to give up too many times right now with the way that they're playing. So they're feeling really good. I love the structure of this team. And, a couple of the shifts there yesterday in the third period was a masterclass in how to just eat time off the clock in terms of playoff hockey. And they can trust all 4 lines right now. Their third line was the best line last night, right? So I think that, this is a different team. The mentality has shifted a little bit. They're up 3-0. They look good. They're not giving the Sens much. I don't know at this point. I mean, the ghosts of the past are still lingering in the background for sure, but this looks like a different team, Casey. It's been fun to watch.
I like that point you bring up, because I really do think the Berube system is the reason why they're having so much success, because maybe the ghost of the past is Sheldon Keefe. We see how the New Jersey Devils are doing right now. I mean, they're looking like the Leafs. You know what I mean? It's not looking good. I mean, obviously they've lost their big superstar, but I do really like how Berube has come in, and he kind of has this mean mug attitude where he's like saying to his assistant coach, "Don't celebrate the goals on the bench." Yeah. You know what I mean? I like that about him. I think he's just all business, and he's not ready to celebrate until the job is done. And I think that's what this Leafs team needed. They needed someone more hard-nosed that's kind of like, all right, boys, I know we're up 3-0, but we still got to finish this out. And I think we're seeing this. I mean, Mitch Mitch Marner came out last night in the post-game press conference, said, you can't be satisfied with where you're at now. The next one is going to be the hardest, and we got to be ready for that. Obviously, the big question mark around the Leafs is they can't close out a series. I mean, we've seen the Montreal Canadiens back in the COVID days come back 3-1 on them. So they're definitely not out of the woods yet. We're talking about the Leafs. They could definitely blow this. We've seen it in the past, and I know Leafs fans are very upset about that because, you know, they don't want to hear that, but it has happened in the past. So it's something that could definitely happen here. But the way this team's rolling right now, I can definitely not see this happening because, I mean, like you said, the power play has looked good. They're at a 55% so far throughout this first couple of games of this series. And obviously, Matty Knies coming out with a legendary quote last night saying, you know, you got a lot of star guys on the power play, but he just needs to park his butt in front of the net and good things are going to happen, and we've seen that out of him. He have 2 goals so far in this series?
Yeah.
What do you see out of Matthew Knies so far? I think this guy is maybe one of the most underrated players in the entire NHL. I don't think he gets enough love, but I think he's overshadowed by a lot of star talent, obviously. But I think this guy is a masterclass of a player, and he's just so good. He's a playoff guy as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of elite talent on the Leafs, right? So he is overshadowed sometimes, I think, to a degree. He's a great player. He's a great power forward. He's doing what he needs to do. He's getting to the front of the net, and if the shot goes off of him, so be it, right? Like he's in front of the net, he's doing his job, and he's battling. He's a battler, right? So I love his game. He wasn't great in game 2. Let's call it what it is, right? But sometimes guys, especially in the playoffs, aren't on their game because it's a different game, right? And you have to get used to it. You have to settle in. And sometimes it's just not your night. And I think it's more obvious when it's not your night in the playoffs because everybody else is so locked in. So, you know, he wasn't great in game 2, but game 1, game 3, he's been a deciding factor. He has goals, right? Like he's doing his thing. He's in front of the net. He's battling on the boards. He's skating well, all of that stuff. So I thought that he's been fantastic all season long. It's bled into the playoffs at this point. He's been fantastic. That top line has been fantastic. He's such a great piece of that top line, especially when Matthews is playing the way he is in terms of his two-way game right now. Just a very complete game. So I think that he's bought into it as well. Matthew Knies, that is. Mitch Marner as well. So I think the sky's the limit for these guys right now. But I do think that the next game, Casey, I don't know how you feel about it, is obviously the biggest one. The next game is always the biggest one in the playoffs. But if they're able to sweep the Senators, I feel like this will unlock something mentally for this team where they can go on a run here and potentially make the third round, maybe even the Stanley Cup final. Because, you know, if you lose one, that doubt starts to creep in. That is there from the past. But I feel like if you do go on and sweep the Senators, it will unlock something in them mentally that will say, you know what, we actually are here. This is different. And they'll just feel good about themselves and can head into a couple more rounds. So I think that this is a big game to kind of separate the old from the new. This is a brand new team. We see it right now. It is on display, right? They're playing a different breed of hockey, but I think mentally there's still a lot of the, you know, the skeletons in the closet, the ghosts in the past, right? Like those things are still lingering around. So I am very interested to see what happens in game 4 here now. Do you take, you know, do you clamp down? Do you take the series, or do you let them kind of crawl back here and give some hope, right? It's going to be interesting to see.
Yeah, it's going to be hard. I mean, it is basically a 4th home game for them. Sorry, Sens fans, but there was a lot of Leafs fans in that barn last night. I mean, the Sens fans were loud. I'm gonna say that they were a good arena last night, and the electricity was definitely there for their team. But the thing is, the Battle of Ontario, most people in Ontario are Leafs fans, so there's going to be a lot of Leafs fans creeping into that building for a series clinching game. There's no doubt about that. So I think the Sens have a lot to overcome here. Obviously, probably the hottest team in hockey right now, probably half the building being Leafs fans. I think it's going to be an uphill battle for them, and for the Leafs too, it's going to be a battle as well. I mean, they've struggled in the past in closing out series, so if they can go out, get this sweep here, I definitely think the momentum is on their side to go out and just keep this momentum rolling. I think going up against potentially Florida in the next round is going to be a tough task, but I think if they can get this boost that they do need by sweeping this series, they're definitely going to be a scary team to see down the stretch. But before we wrap this video up, Darius, I definitely want to talk about the Carpenter. We're not talking about Sabrina. We're talking about Anthony Stolarz, as in his last 11 starts, he's 11-0-0 with a 1.53 GAA, a 9.44 save percentage, and Darius, this is the guy that has carried the Leafs so far. We're not talking about Matthews. We're not talking about Marner's. We're talking about Stolarz. This is the reason why the Toronto Maple Leafs have been so successful, and I think this guy's the reason that they're going to make it to the Eastern Conference Finals this year for sure.
I think that, Stolarz has brought something to the Leafs. I mean, this is the first time as a Leafs fan, you're not cringing at every single shot that comes your way since maybe 2002. And then even then, it's Curtis Joseph flying around the crease, right? Like it was a different time back then. So maybe you are still cringing. He's offered something this year that the Leafs have not seen in a long time. And that's just poise and control in the crease. And he's a bigger body. He's playing with a lot of confidence right now. He hasn't lost in a long time. And his advanced analytics are really good, tops in the league, right? So he's been fantastic. Tops in the league heading into the playoffs, and then in the playoffs, he's been fantastic as well. And again, they're keeping all the shots. I have to give credit to the defense and the team defense, right? The forwards buying in as well. They're keeping shots to the outside. They're supporting each other very well, and they're able to break the puck out pretty quick after that. So everything's been clicking. The goaltending's been good. He's coming up with saves when you need them. Yes, he's let in 2 goals in this series where maybe you want them back. But, when you look across the league and some teams are questioning their goaltending as a whole, I think the Leafs are in a good spot. If you're only letting in maybe 1 or 2 goals in the entire series, then maybe you'd want back. So he's been playing really, really well. Dating back to the start of this season, he's been one of the best in the entire league the entire time. And again, it's not just the numbers that he's putting up. It's not just the big saves that he's making. It's just every single play. He's playing with confidence. He's playing with poise in the net. And I think that that's intimidating for other teams as well. So he's been fantastic. And barring injury, he's going to be the guy for the whole playoffs.
And all aspects of this Leafs team have been scary throughout these first 3 games, and hopefully they can keep this rolling because as of right now, to give a Newfoundland saying for you, the NHL is frightened to death of the Toronto Maple Leafs because this team is definitely the hottest team in the playoffs right now. They are rolling. If they can keep this ball rolling into a sweep, they're definitely going to be a team to be looking out for to win the Stanley Cup this year. I can't believe I'm saying that as a Montreal Canadiens fan, but I have bought in. I have bought into the Leafs right now, but I want to hear your guys' thoughts down below in the comment section. Do you think they're going to complete the sweep? Let us know down below. And what is your favorite thing about the Leafs team so far in the playoffs? Let us know down below. If you enjoyed this one, leave a like, subscribe to the channel. We're going to be here keeping you up to date on the latest stuff surrounding the Stanley Cup playoffs. But as always, I've been your host, Casey, alongside my co-host, Darius. Keep your stick on the ice.